The Johnny O here, and I'm back with another reaction and review video. We're checking out. It's a video that was sent to me by Chantheric Hiracon. Hirancon. I'm trying my best, brother. I had to put your name into Google Translate because it was in your native language in my comments, and so I'm trying my best. I hope I didn't totally obliterate it. I hope I didn't totally destroy it, but this video is to give us a little bit of insight into BlackPink and the direction they're trying to go. I believe. It's just to give us a little bit of history with the band, or with the group. This video comes from Cody and Wyatt. Go check them out. I just subscribed and just liked this video. Again, I'm trying to get to these as quickly as I can. If you guys have any more suggestions or any more requests, use please. I know I promise I'm not trying to sound pretentious. Did I say that word right? Pretentious? I think I did. I think I said that word right. I'm not trying to sound that way. Okay, it gives me a easier way to search through the comments and find it. I can type in please and boom, there they all are. There's all the requests right there. Bam, 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 bam. Because they're not, you know, they're all worded a little differently. But if you throw the word please in every one of them, then it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, guys? I'd appreciate that so much because I don't have a lot of time to get these recorded. I'm trying to get to them. I mean, you see, it says 3 months ago that he asked me to check this out. All right, enough chit-chatting, enough blabbering, enough yah-yahing. We're gonna get right to it. Let's get the old earmuffs on so we can hear it together.
In 4 years and 4 music videos, the 4 members of BlackPink have completed a saga unlike anything I've seen in pop music. They took their time dropping visual and lyrical clues that built up the grand myth of BlackPink. Now, the epic story they have told us finally comes into full relief with the release of their final chapter in the saga, How You Like That. The story they have told is remarkable, but what's funny is, it's a story you may have heard before. It draws inspiration directly from ancient Greece, a time of epic battles, powerful gods, and resonant art. BlackPink pulled from all of this.
Okay, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. You know, you tell a story over time throughout your videos, and you know, I think that's pretty cool.
To build their very own mythology as they go on a long hero's journey, not unlike that of Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey. You know, the guy that made the Trojan horse in order to win a war. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at square one. I believe that each of BlackPink's 4 most recent music videos tells the story of a different Greek goddess. The 4 goddesses BlackPink use as inspiration are actually sisters, the daughters of Zeus. Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis, and Persephone each have different stories that define each era, and each serve as ancient archetypes that BlackPink try on in order to find their true identities. Enough waiting, grab a snack, and let's get into the video. This is BlackPink's Greek era.
BlackPink's Odyssey, written by Cody.
The first video in this saga is As If It's Your Last. We open on a shot of BlackPink surrounded by 12 Corinthian columns. These 12 Greek pillars symbolize the pantheon, which is made up of the 12 major Greek gods and goddesses. Presumably, they arrived at this new location by...
Okay, I'm not trying to take away from anything that Cody's saying, all right? But look at that Lolo. Look at that Lolo. That is a clean motherfucking Lolo. All right, let's get back to Cody. Because he's telling us a story here. He's taking us on a journey.
By taking the car. Vehicles and mobility were a constant motif in BlackPink's first 4 music videos. Therefore, this represents a leaving behind of the old era and an introduction to the new. The Greek architecture, which is traditionally white, is bathed in pink, while the backdrop is pitch black. This setting gives new meaning to the phrase "black pink in your area." This time, the black and the pink have taken over the pantheon. We are in the world of gods and goddesses now. As If It's Your Last is the only love song in this 4-part saga. The girls are head over heels for one person, completely helpless, and drawn into this romantic interest. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, is who BlackPink draws inspiration from for this song. They seem to be almost possessed by this idea of romantic attraction, much like Aphrodite's suitors fell helpless when they saw her beauty. The girls spend the majority of the music video enchanted by this supernatural love, constantly torn between their lovesick, carefree lives and this semi-mystic world.
But, you know, in all actuality, in all reality, you should never be that far in love to where you're just completely lost touch with reality. You know, yeah, you shouldn't. That's kind of creepy at times, you know? So, all right, yeah.
Where they appear to be more focused. The difference between these two worlds is clear when we notice the pink smoke that envelops them and the 12 columns. This creates a dreamlike atmosphere that we only see in one other scene. As Ginny says, "It's a new beginning," we see her on a seashell bed surrounded by water. This is a clear reference to the birth of Aphrodite, when she emerged from the sea in a shell. This is depicted in The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. This is the exact moment that BlackPink awakens to their goddess potential. Ginny then says, "I won't ever be looking back."
Now, Botticelli, he was one of the Dutch greats, wasn't he? He was definitely in the Rubenesque era. I'm trying to think back to my high school humanities class. I think he was one of the Dutch greats.
The second video in this saga, Duda Duda, shows BlackPink exploring their newfound goddess.
Okay, so it's Duda Duda. I've been do 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 do. I didn't know.
Potential with more direct action. As they do this, the world around them becomes more and more detached from reality and more fantastic than ever before. If lovesick Aphrodite led the first comeback, now BlackPink explores the raw power of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. The candy pink Mount Olympus set is replaced with a more severe and functional structure, upon which the women sit like queens on a throne. The pink color has been drained from the architecture, and now rockets behind them like explosions in a great war. The ancient Greeks built a similar structure, the Parthenon, as a temple for Athena. It was made in the Doric style, with columns that are known for their simplicity and straight lines, much like the structure BlackPink now occupies. These gray, straight lines are in stark contrast to the pink Corinthian columns of As If It's Your Last. BlackPink have grown up, left behind their obsession with love, and now they only want one thing: power. We now see Ginny, the focus of the scene of Aphrodite's birth, on a throne high above a chess match. She acts now as Athena, making her strategic moves in battle. As Lisa shows next, the girls have shifted from "won't you set me free" to "I take what I want." She prepares for her own war with multiple weapons in hand. It is Rosé, however, that has the ultimate awakening to her goddess form in this music video. She walks into Athena's temple and sees no statue of an ancient ruler, but of herself.
Who else is seeing this as like Goku and Vegeta reaching new forms and new levels? Is that just me? Is that just me because I'm a fucking Dragon Ball Z nerd? Is that fine? That's what we'll go with. It's just me. It's just me.
On the pedestal above. Unlike Aphrodite before her, Athena does not pretend to play nice. The women now use this realized power to wage a war. Jisoo stands in the heart of the battlefield, but remains unfazed. Behind her is the car they used to enter this new world. now destroyed. There is no turning back. They go on to wage war, and monuments are built in their honor. As Athena guides their success, they sit on the throne as what they believe to be their rightful goddess selves. The third chapter in BlackPink's hero's journey, Kill This Love, is their breaking point. They have awoken to the goddess inside, dumped Aphrodite because she wasn't powerful enough, and now sit on the throne as Athena. However, endings are never quite that simple, and doubt always creeps back in. Aphrodite's youthful urge for romantic love has quietly crept back in, and since the goddess Athena never had a romantic partner, they are at war within themselves over this identity crisis. And, as they will find, sometimes the external war is easier to win than the one inside of you. Aphrodite makes her comeback first, surrounded by swans, as she is in ancient mythology. She is wiser and more weary this time around. Instead of begging for a love without limits, she is aware of the fact that there is a steep price to pay for the way she is. There is always a goodbye in love. But even though she knows this now, she admits that she has not changed, and she is still a slave to her emotions. Then,
I'm a slave. Sorry. That's where I went. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take away from what he's doing, but I went right to Brittany. That was Brittany, wasn't it? Or was it Christina? Anyways, I went there. Yeah. I can see what he's saying. I mean, he's doing he's really doing a real good job telling us about this and breaking it down the way he is. I mean, he's watched these videos several times and found all the context clues, and that is awesome. And he's doing a great job putting the clues together.
the warlike Athena is back to make her case. Lisa kicks down the door and demands that the strongest opponent present itself to her. She says that love may be sweet, but she may never let a partner into her private heaven. Whoever wants her must be worthy of her love. If not, they won't get in. You might think that one of these two opponents would win the fight for total control. However, there is a third goddess that wants control of BlackPink's narrative, and she has a different point of view entirely. Artemis, the goddess of the moon, wild animals, and the hunt, awakens first within Jisoo. She comes into the vision of BlackPink with a full moon and a headpiece that resembles the antlers of a wild animal. First, the pink columns of order and beauty, then the pink explosions of warfare. Now, the pink antlers of something untamed. Artemis has a new argument for what to do with this lover. It is guaranteed that one of the two partners in this romantic relationship will suffer. Aphrodite clearly learned this the hard way. Artemis has decided that, no matter what, it will not be her that suffers. Who cares if the other person cries tears of blood? Rosé, now filled with the power of the goddess of the hunt, prepares to destroy her prey. Any feelings of loneliness, any whisperings of the two goddesses before her, they're gone now. Artemis's newfound ego is the weapon, and she finds her target, herself, frozen like a wild animal caught in the headlights. Immediately after, we see the women standing in ruins, surrounded not only by rubble and cracked columns, but the head of a giant statue of Aphrodite. The goddess of love has been killed. Up next is Athena, who still roams her temple from Duda. Artemis prepares one of her arrows and unforgivingly destroys the goddess of wisdom as well. Now that the previous goddess influences are gone, you might think that Artemis would bring peace to these women. That is, if she really is BlackPink's rightful goddess self. However, BlackPink shows us that they are just as trapped as they were before. They now stand in a trap designed to catch wild animals. Clearly, Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, isn't just destroying the other goddesses' influences. She's hunting BlackPink, too. BlackPink voiced their concern in the song's outro. They say, "We must kill this love. It's sad, but true." Hold on. If killing the love that was torturing them was truly freeing, it wouldn't be sad. Not to mention, they then warn us that they must Kill this love before it kills you too. Why would their love kill us? This so-called love is much wilder and more dangerous than we first thought. Like a werewolf turning into a...
Right, but when you are fully deep in love, it feels like you're dying when you're apart. And then if they break up with you, if you lose that love, then it really feels like you're dying. You know what I mean? So I can kind of see the direction of the lyrics, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like a dick, and we'll go over that in a minute. Yeah, this is there was a lot more to this than I thought. A lot more to this than I thought, and I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised.
A beast under the full moon. This new goddess self is pulling the women further from their truest selves, and I believe it pulls them all the way to the afterlife. As we turn to the final chapter in this saga, BlackPink are at their lowest point in the story. Their allegiance to Artemis resulted in them killing the love, but it destroyed them in the process. Their wild commitment to killing their love put them at rock bottom and aligned them with a fourth and final...
Yeah, of course it did. I mean, how many times have you thought that you were just so deeply in love with somebody, but you knew you had to get out because it was just toxic and it was terrible and it was awful, and when you did, it broke your heart, right? I mean, I don't know. Let's
final goddess, Persephone, the naive daughter of the goddess of the harvest, who is forced to make her choice between two very different worlds. Here is some quick backstory on Persephone. In Greek mythology, when Hades, the god of the underworld, saw Persephone and her beauty, he devised a plan to steal her away. Persephone was picking flowers when the earth broke beneath her, and Hades pulled her through the crack and took her to the underworld. When Demeter heard what happened, she plunged the world into a winter-like famine because of her deep sadness. Both Demeter and Hades wanted to keep Persephone for themselves. Because of this, Zeus came up with a plan that would allow Persephone to choose who she wanted to be for herself, the Queen of Death or the Daughter of Life. When it came time to choose, Persephone's judgment was clouded, and she could not make a clear decision. Therefore, it was decided that she was to spend half her time on Earth and half in the underworld. The time she spends on Earth is in spring and summer. This is because her mother is so happy to have her that she makes the world lush and beautiful again. The time she spends ruling the underworld is winter, because of her mother's deep mourning that withers all life away. Persephone's indecision shows two sides to a woman. BlackPink focuses on the duality of Persephone.
See, this all takes me back to my high school humanities class. I learned all of this stuff in humanities, and it's like, wow. Yeah. I mean, that's all I'm saying in my head is, yep. Yeah. Now that you say it, now that you're mentioning it, I remember it.
Tell their version of the myth in How You Like That. This can be seen in their references to dark and light, summer and winter, water and fire, and an average girl versus a queen. When we first see BlackPink after Kill This Love, Jenny tells us that they crumbled before our eyes. This must be in reference to the dramatic ending of Kill This Love, when they crumbled under the various pressures facing them. She says they hit rock bottom and then sunk deeper than rock bottom. Sounds a lot like Persephone reaching the underworld. Jisoo then pulls off the rosy veil that hid the truth from her. She sits within the crack in the earth, and the flowers wilt around her, a reference to Demeter's sorrow at Persephone's kidnapping. Still though, we see the light breaking through the cracks. Rosé reaches toward that light as she considers what it would be like to be free once again. She begs, in this dark place, light up the sky. As she does so, we see the moment she died and entered the underworld. She is surrounded by flowers from her mother. She begs to be released from her prison, but in a strange turn of events, she says she will kiss her lover goodbye. Persephone's lover is Hades, the king of the underworld. Could it be that she wants to stay with him? In a moment, she completes her fantasy of leaving hell behind and returning to her mother's world. BlackPink dance in a lush garden full of Demeter's bounty. Finally, the light that was chasing all of them is right behind them, and they are returned to their rightful place in the world, protected by their mother and safe from harm. They take this opportunity to taunt Hades and say, "How you like that? Finally, I'm free!" Or am I? Throughout this celebratory scene, we keep cutting back to the members of BlackPink in their trapped environments. Jinny is still deep in the water under rock bottom. Jisoo is still within the crack in the earth. All of this celebration is nothing but a fantasy, as the girls remain trapped underneath. They are not yet free because they still have not made their choice. In Lisa's fantasy, she pictures herself in both scenarios. In one moment, she is free to live in the world, wearing street clothes, eating from the harvest, and feeling the sunlight on her skin. In the next moment, she rules on a throne, surrounded by darkness. She is beginning to consider the other option that the gods gave her, to rule the underworld that she finds herself in. She claims that Plain Jane got hijacked, but this Plain Jane may choose to stay in her new kingdom. How you like that? Jinny agrees that it might be nice to shine like the stars in this new, even darker place. Her tear remains, but it has split and turned blood red in her new fantasy. Jisoo agrees that it's time to turn her sadness into her power. She puts on a new outfit, fit for a queen of the underworld. Around her, everything burns in flame, and she sits on a throne made of bone. Persephone has turned to the dark side and rules over the underworld. Now, she asks her mother, "How you like that?"
Now, there are some that can say that would interpret a lot of these images, and my wife's hair. A lot of these images and a lot of this symbology. If you know, you know. As above, so below. You know, it's on the. A lot of people. There are some people. I say a lot of people. There are some people out there that could interpret this as being very satanic. You know, the white, the black. You know, the light, the dark, as above, so below. But I can also see the Persephone correlation as well.
She has gained the power she always wanted, and now her mother's sorrow has turned the world into a desolate winter. We have reached the moment for Persephone to make her choice. She has fantasized about both outcomes, each time telling off the powers that have controlled her in her life. Would it really be right to choose one over the other? Both offer a sense of freedom, of the good life, but in both situations, she is still under the control of someone else. She then says, "The day I fell without my wings, those dark days where I was trapped, you should have ended me when you had the chance. Look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane." Hold on. What wings is she talking about? None of the goddesses we've showed so far have any wings, but there is one goddess that has wings. One that was shown at the very beginning of this music video. Nike, the goddess of victory, has wings. In her most famous depiction, the winged Victory, she is without a head or arms, but she still has her wings. Through this saga, BlackPink lost everything, but they don't care. They only see that they have wings. It's in this moment that BlackPink finally finds their true goddess identity. They are not Aphrodite. They are not Athena. They are not Artemis. They are not even Persephone. They are Nike, the goddess of victory. And they aren't choosing either world of control. They're choosing to rise above it all. Look up in the sky. Persephone entertained both living in the real world and ruling below it. However, when it finally comes time to choose one, BlackPink chooses neither. And this time around, instead of being controlled by the external forces that surround them, the women choose to free themselves. In this saga, BlackPink is telling a 4-part
All
story
right.
of self-discovery. When they first enter into the Pantheon, BlackPink awakens to their goddess potential. They know they have power, they just don't know what it is yet. First, they try to be Aphrodite, the sweet and beautiful goddess of love. They show themselves to the world as 4 beautiful pink pillars of light. When that doesn't work, they think more strategically and embody Athena, the goddess of power. They become confrontational and even warlike in order to claim what is theirs. However, this opens a Pandora's box of chaos as these 2 very different sides to BlackPink wage an internal.
And if you look throughout all of these, there's been constant images of wings, or you know, hints to wings. Like right here in this image, there's the pink powder, you know, from behind them as if it's wings. Let me go back here some. Go back. It's not, I want to go back. There we go.
When they first enter into the Pantheon, BlackPink awakens to their goddess potential. They know they have power. They just don't know what it is.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
First, they try to be Aphrodite, the sweet and beautiful goddess of love. They show themselves to the world as 4 beautiful pink pillars of light. When that doesn't work, they think more strategically and embody Athena, the goddess of power. They become confrontational and even warlike in order to claim what is theirs. However, this opens a Pandora's box of chaos as these 2
right there. There's another some more imagery. I'm trying to sound smart and I sound stupid. There's some more images of wings, or you know, Easter egg of wings.
very different sides to BlackPink wage an internal battle. To put an end to this back and forth chaos, they call upon Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, in order to kill the goddesses of love and power. This animal-like death and destruction breaks open a new chapter that begins at rock bottom. From the perspective of Persephone, 2 choices are available. They can either fight to get back to the light they once knew, or rule this new world they find themselves thrown into. But this dilemma ends.
I'm keeping my eye out for more images of wings.
Choose either one. They
But there were
make
several
themselves a
others.
New option. Fashion modern black and pink wings onto an ancient goddess and awaken to their true form. Nike, the goddess of victory, gives BlackPink the winning power to defeat all the internal battles they face and ultimately save themselves. Love will not save them. Power will not save them. Death will not save them. And someone else will not save them. All of the things they thought would save them were Trojan horses. Shiny toys with nothing inside but more destruction. It is now that they know they must find it in themselves to rise, break out from hiding in their own Trojan horse, and conquer like the boss bitch they were always meant to be.
That was that's pretty cool. So shout out to what was their names? Cody and Wyatt. That was pretty cool, man. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't realize there was that much to it. Makes you think. I like that they told an entire story, and I think he said it took 4 years. Like they put out a video a year or something like that, and it told that story over that time. That's pretty cool. I like things like that. I like things that make you chase it down, and you know, like ARGs and stuff like that. Now I don't play ARGs. I'm too lazy for that. I'm not gonna lie. But I like learning about them, and I like checking them out. So that's like one big ARG is kind of what that was like. Well, there you go, guys. That's been another reaction and review video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know, yeah, definitely let me know what you thought. Remember, if you guys got any requests for me, make sure you put the word please in there. It helps me refine the search and find your request so I can get to it a little quicker and a little easier. I'm not trying to be pretentious. I promise that's not it at all. It just gives me one word to type in that I can refine the requests and find everybody's requests. All right? Remember, everybody love everybody, and as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow wherever, whenever, however. I love you guys. Have an absolutely beautiful day. I kind of dug that. Actually, I really dug that.